So what brothers and sisters, kind of talked a little bit about what we were going to start to do, which was to have every parent pick a topic that they're going to teach the parents. This is not for the scouts; it's for us. So I shared the post that's going to be coming that we'll put into the Scout our parent group, and so the first presentation that we're sort of starting with is this Congressional medal. And some of the presentations that I've sort of already heard that, hey, this is what I want to teach, are going to be so much fun. Right, Sister Halima? Yes, inshallah. All right. So interesting. All right. So Bismillah. So the Congressional medal is the Congressional award. It's different than the Congressional medal. The Congressional medal is a military honor Congressional medal for military service. This Congressional award is the highest award that is given to a civilian, and meaning to a non-military American. And so our scouts have the opportunity to earn this award just essentially by just reporting their scouting activities to this Congressional Award Committee. So it's not duplicating their effort, it's just writing it down and submitting it on this side. So we're already doing, our kids are doing it anyway. And so simultaneously they can earn their Eagle or earn towards Eagle, and even if they don't finish Eagle, but they can also get their Congressional award. Now, just like having an Eagle Scout on your CV looks very favorable for, let's say, for example, for a business owner, and many of you guys are a business owner, or are familiar with what it would take to have a good employee. That, scouting, as you can see, is not easy. You're learning a lot of skills. We're teaching the kids a lot of skills. And so for a business owner, of which I am one, if I were to see two CVs and I see Eagle Scout on one and the other CV is identical, I'm really going to be looking at the Eagle Scout, because that's it from a young age. That's a kid that started something and finished it. That's the kind of employee I want. You start a project and you see it through, right? Project management. That's, you start a project, you don't abandon it in the middle. So, but then if I also see a Congressional award, that means that this kid, there are, and we'll talk through the different awards levels, but that means that this kid did a lot of community service, and that's really what this is all about, the Congressional award. To get the kid a little bit out of his or her comfort zone, do a lot of community service, so that the emphasis in the number of hours is on community service and volunteering activities. And then there are other things like personal development and some that we'll talk about. But simultaneously, side by side with the Eagle Scout, and you've got the gold medal Congressional award, it just looks super good, super amazing for all of our kids. And our kids are already going to be eligible because they're doing scouting. And so you just reported accordingly. So what is the Congressional award for? So it's not necessarily award for scouting. I had my staff do this for me. So it's a Congressional award, and they can get it because they're doing scouting. It's not an award for scouting. So it's basically, at the highest. So the levels of the awards are that you have 3 certificates, and then you've got 3 medals. The certificates are all meaning easier to get than the medals. So you've got bronze, silver, gold. Okay, you've got bronze certificate, silver certificate, gold certificate. And then you've got bronze medal, which is higher than the gold certificate. The meaning it requires more effort, more hours, longer number of months to actually do it. So gold certificate, they've got bronze medal, silver medal, gold medal. Our scouts are going to be eligible for the gold medal. The gold medal, yani once they finish all of their things, and we're going to talk about what that looks like. And the gold medal is the only award where the kid is invited to Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. in June. And so every year this gold medal award is given by Congress. And you're on Capitol Hill, you're in the congressional area, and you're given this medal by Congress. So young Americans, it's voluntary, non-competitive. So it's competitive sports don't necessarily count, but they can count in certain ways, but it's to promote achievement and so on. So these are the 4 topic areas that every kid is going to need to sort of fulfill or do certain things in. Voluntary public service. And there are certain requirements that a kid has to meet. So, for example, volunteering cannot be for an exclusive group of people. That volunteer activity cannot be for an exclusive group of people, meaning just Muslims. That is not permitted. That is not counted as voluntary public service. However, if like Masjid al-Islam has an open door policy, it's a masjid that is doing a program for the general public, that counts. And that is acceptable. But if it's volunteering in a masjid at a Quran school, which is only for Muslims, that doesn't count. So it's non-religious, non-partisan, non-denominational of any sort. It has to be available and open to the general public. And then personal development. So now, these two are a little bit hard to sort of separate, personal development and physical fitness. And sometimes it's a little hard to separate in the mind. Think of personal development like learning a new language. Arabic counts, right? Think of personal development like gaining a new skill. Learning how to play basketball counts. Learning how to sing. Learning how to recite Quran, training your voice. That's a new skill. That's something that you weren't doing before that you are now doing. So now you can also get into, well, what if I want to learn jiu-jitsu? Can I count it for both? No, you cannot. You have to pick which one you want to count it for. Is it physical fitness or is it personal development? You've got to pick. Okay? So, and there you can see how, certain things can overlap. There is no permission to overlap. So, we're going to get all of these questions. I know for a fact that, can this count for this and this? No, it cannot. It cannot count for multiple things. And then the expedition or exploration. This is really interesting. So, I just have to figure out so this is where a kid plans out a trip. Now, there can be adult assistance, of course, figuring out how to find the airline ticket, figuring out how, the kid has to do this. Figuring out how to pick the hotels, book the hotel, obviously the kid will need the credit card and so on. And then when you go there, it shouldn't just be where you just sit in the hotel and be like, great, I'm sitting here learning. No, you actually have to show, and you've got to write about your experience. The kid has to write about his or her experience. So for the gold medal, there's a requirement of 5 consecutive days and 4 nights. So consecutive. Where each one of those days you have to do a different activity. So it's not just going for Umrah, but it can certainly be going for Umrah and then taking the tours, but then it's got to be 6 to 8 hours per day of learning activities which the kid is going to write about, and the kid will have to write about 9 to 10 pages of stuff about, hey, I learned this in this activity, I did this, I did this, I did that. And there are prompts, there are questions. So these are things that, now, how does scouting fall into this? So there are, of course, voluntary public service is a big part of scouting, right? For example, we haven't done this as a troop, but there are things like mulching, buying mulch and then going and mulching up people's yards for them. That's volunteer. Or if there's any one of our eagles, high-level scouts that's going for their Eagle project, volunteering to help with that Eagle project will count here. Okay, and then even other things. And there are so many different volunteer activities that we can talk about. A great volunteer place for just that comes off is Ekna Medical or one of the Epic Medical Clinic, right? It's a great place to volunteer, and it's open to the public. It's a Muslim organization, but it's open to the entire population. Okay, personal development. There's picking any merit badge that you want to pick up, like I don't know, amateur radio or archery or shooting or canoeing or any of these is personal development. That merit badge could potentially count for this. Okay, physical fitness. There's clearly a physical fitness merit badge that would potentially count. But of course, now then we just have to make sure that we have the right number of hours over the right amount of time. That's another thing to sort of think about in terms of the Congressional Award. They're not wanting you to do it all in a weekend. You're not eligible. If you do everything in one weekend, that doesn't count. Yeah, it counts towards the number of months requirement. So for the gold medal, which we're all going to be striving for our kids, you need to do some activity each month for 24 months. You have to do some activity each month for 24 months. It doesn't have to be consecutive. You can take a break. You can go do whatever. But so and then of course expeditions. So sea base, Philmont, these larger travel that the troop can do. If the kid is involved in planning it, or the kid is the one that is planning it, then that will count. Okay. So now we come to advisors and validators. So what is an advisor and what is a validator? An advisor is, and so both of these have to be non-family members from what I understand. When we get to validators, that's where my I still have some questions and some gaps in my knowledge. But an advisor is someone who, like, let's say for me, right now, everyone who has signed up, so the kid will sign up at the age of 13.5 years. 13.5 years. As soon as your kid hits 13.5 years, you go in, it's a $35 fee to register for this, and I'll show you the website. But as soon as your child hits 13.5 years, spend $35, get the kid registered as soon as possible, and right on that day. I registered Abdurrahman on June 22nd, because that's where his birthday is, the 21st. So, once he signs up, then every activity after that he does, period, can count. All we have to do, and you guys will help me as the advisor, is to go back and figure out what the kid did, when they did it, and we just have to document it, and then we're good. Now, an advisor will be the one that's going to oversee the entire program for the kid. A validator is someone who says, okay, yes, this kid was here for jiu-jitsu on this day and earned this belt. and I sign off on that activity. So you have multiple different validators for different activities. And then you have one overall advisor, right now that's me, and for my kid, it is Brother Sanuj, right? So it has to be a non-family member. So an advisor meets with and helps guide the participants while they set their goals. What do they want to do? So you have to set a goal, and then in one of those 4 categories, try and meet those goals. And then a validator assists participants with an individual activity. So you're going to have one advisor and multiple validators. Okay? And any adults who's not a relative can serve any of these. Okay, so here's the answer to. So for example, Abdurrahman cannot come and volunteer at my clinic, even though the clinic, but because it's well, unless someone else supervises him. Anyhow. So, what are the benefits? A kid learns to set goals and achieve goals, and then to apply scouting activities towards the award, which is amazing, and then enhance your CV and of course, more than that. So,
let me just make sure that I talked about everything here.
Okay, so basically from 13.5 to age 24. So your limit is age 24. But remember that for the gold medal, you need to have 24 months of activity leading up to age 24. So don't wait until age 24. Challenges youth to set goals in these 4 areas. Participate in building valuable skills. Okay, so volunteering with your troop or within the community, personal development, learn a new skill or strengthen an existing skill. Like, you know, for some of the kids who are reciters, you can get a teacher that can help strengthen that skill, or some other skill that you have. Physical fitness, better your physical health. So this has to be actual physical fitness. It's not just that, hey, you know, can we count this, can we count that? And expedition, explore a new place. Now, expeditions and explorations can be, in COVID, they introduced that the expedition can be remote expedition. So sitting on your computer from home. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But they're like, okay, no, this actually worked and it works fine. So in other words, learning, if you're interested in learning about Spain, you can, from your computer, figure out websites, learn, identify resources, and learn about Spain, basically travel to Spain on your computer, and then write about the culture, write about what you learned, so it doesn't actually have to be travel, so it can be remote, but if it is travel, then that will be. Okay, so we're talking about what is an advisor, what is a validator, and then it cannot be peers. Okay, just making sure that I've.
So, Brother Tahir, for
Yeah.
personal development, just one skill?
No, okay. So you can have multiple skills, all right. You can have multiple things that you, so one of the, so this is the website. Let me just go home. Okay, so this is the website. It's called congressionalaward.org. If your child is 13.5, please get them to sign up. You're going to need my phone number. You're going to need my address, and and you appoint me for now as the advisor. And then this gives you some information about it, and there's a registration link right here. Okay. One of the things that you will go to is the program itself. The program, yeah. So you go to the program, and then over here there will be a lot of resources. So for example, this book right here is this book on this page. Okay, so this is the program book, which gives you a lot of information about how to get started, where to register,
and things like that. And this is one of the things that I wanted to show. What are the requirements? Okay, so these are for the certificates. Now, you can start with and this is probably what we're going to do because I'm still learning about this program. We're going to start with perhaps trying to earn the gold certificate, okay, which would be in this column right here. So you would need, for voluntary public service, you need to have a total of 90 hours of volunteer time over 6 months. So at least 1 hour in a month in order for it to count. Then, and then you have to do that over 6 months. So that will be about 15 hours per month in 6 months, or it can happen in 10 months. It can happen in 20 months. Where you get 90 hours, and then once you have 6 months of volunteer time, and whenever you hit 90 hours, you can do it in 90 months if you want to. That would be really slow, right? But you can do that. And then as soon as you hit the 90 hours, then you've fulfilled that requirement. Personal development, learning a new skill, developing yourself. You can have multiple different places where you volunteer, up to 4, I believe. There's a list of that. For the gold medal, you can have up to 4 different places where you can volunteer. I think 3 personal goals, personal development, and so on and so forth. Okay, and the expedition. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to try and earn the gold certificate for each scout first, just so that I know that I'm doing it properly. And if they successfully earn the gold certificate, then we're gonna go straight for the gold medal. And you can see that the number of hours skyrockets. 400 volunteers. So I calculated that out. If you were to do, let's say, just 3 hours per week in 24 months, you would still only hit 288 hours. 3 hours a week for 2 years, you're still only at 288 hours. So it is significant. It's, so you'd have to do around 4 or 5 hours a week to hit 400. If you want to squeeze it into 24 months. But it's okay, we've got time. From age 13 to age 24, that's 10 years, and we can do it. But the ideal would be that by the time they get their Eagle Scout, they should also earn their gold medal. So personal development, 200 hours over 24 months, 200 hours of physical fitness over 20, and then 5 days, and these must be consecutive, 5 days and 4 nights consecutive.
The 24 months, are they consecutive, or they can
Nope.
spend? Okay.
It just has to be a total of 24 months of time.
Okay.
Can't be less than 20.
It cannot be less than 24 months. So if in any given month you didn't do that physical fitness thing, you just don't count that, and then you spill over to the next month, do 1 hour at least, and then that month counts as 1 month. Now you have 23 months.
How do you document all that?
Excellent question.
But it has to be, everything has to be within the 24 months.
Nope, it can be at least 24 months.
It's just a minimum.
It cannot be within 24 months, it has to be at least 24, so more than 24. Okay, and so there's a lot more. I'll answer your question in a second. There's a lot more detail, which will bring up a lot more questions. So I definitely want everybody. I might need help in this, so I would like to not be the only expert in this. Goal setting, eligibility requirements, and so on. So here, what was your question? How do you document? Okay, so there is a this workbook. So this is on paper. Now, what this allows you to do is that there's an hour and month log. So then, which goal are you working on? What's the activity? And then what's the number of hours and the date? So this. You'll have, this is just a 1-pager, right? And so you can probably have 4 of these, 1 or 3 of these, one for each category. And you just document, so this is the program area, personal development,
or physical fitness, or VPS, voluntary public service. So, and then you just use this, keep track of that time. This is electronic, it's fillable, and then it totals it for you.
So it's documented per event or per day or per month?
However you feel like you want to document it, it's just got to be easy for me to understand as the advisor, so that then what we do is we lift this, and with the kid, we'll put it into something called Submittable, which is an online submission platform for this, and we just submit stuff there, and then we finalize the book and submit it for consideration. So that's how the activities would be documented. So right now, for most of our scouts, we're gonna have to go backwards and figure that out, and then as long as Brother Sanoat and Brother Abdullah will sign off on some of the activities that they've already done as the validator, then I can take that and I can say, okay, I approve as the advisor that these were done, because the validators have, yes sir.
Can you start tracking those activities before?
No, nothing counts until the scout signs up. Zero counts, nothing. So the scouts, for example, who are older, who are 15, 16,
They can go back.
you cannot go back.
Oh,
Nobody can go back, so this only counts like from the day you register yourself.
The day you register, you must register. Nothing counts before you register.
But there's still time, so even if
Yeah.
you're looking at a 17-year-old, this is still 24.
There's-
So you can still do it, you just need 2 years of time. Say for example, I'm sorry I'm cutting into it, so say for example if it's someone who's 17 and they're thinking that they're gonna age out from here, you can always come back and volunteer with the troop and still do all of this.
Absolutely.
Right?
Voluntary public service.
So that's where, that's gonna help them in that volunteering aspect also, plus it's gonna count for this.
Yeah.
So just because your scout is 17 or 16 or even 15, don't think that you're running out of time.
Yeah. At least not for this. You're running out of time for Eagle, but
Yes.
you're not running out of time for this.
But if you are volunteering for your troop, I'm not volunteering to a very close, you said it should be open to public.
Correct. The troop is open to the public.
So say for example, we do a walk around and clean up all the streets around this masjid.
Okay.
That is gonna get counted because we're not doing it for the Muslim population in the masjid. We just need to extend it, like pick up a street to clean, you know? Or you go to, before we used to do this thing where we used to go plant trees in the Richards and, they had an auditorium or something, so they had so they had a tree plantation. Some things are, benefit public rather than a certain sector.
Yeah. And this is the workbook where you, what is it that you're working on, the number of hours for bronze, and so on and so forth. So once you earn let's say one of these certificates, let's come back to this slide here. Once you earn the 45 hours in 6 months for the gold certificate, and then you start saying that, okay, I want to go for the bronze medal, well, now you only need 55 hours remaining, not the full 100. You don't reset to 0. Okay, so let's say that you earn the gold certificate. What they will also send you is the silver and the bronze certificate. So meaning that it's cumulative. So the 45 hours will count towards the gold medal. And the 6 months requirement will count towards the gold medal 24 months. Okay? So then as you're filling out the workbook, you're gonna goal setting, and this will be very good. So now, for example, you're gonna see describe the activity that you did, describe how you improved and what you learned, how did you serve the greater community at large, and who is the validator, give us an email address who can improve that activity. So it's, and then when you get down to and so all of these things have questions. Personal expedition, you can see that and this is on multiple pages. So location, trip start date, number of days, what was your goal, who's the validator, and now provide a brief overview, what you did, film on for scout, film on scout rank that fits.
how were you challenged, give examples, thinking on your feet, like how did a problem happen, and on the trip, because you're the planner and the executor, then how did you kind of adjust and think on your feet? All of these resources are available online, okay? And that is here, download the book. So you register, set goals, and so on and so forth, and then there are yes. So when you go to the program, I think that's where all these resources are. So that's called the workbook. And once you register, then you get a registration email. Do I have that email here? You get a successful registration email right here. And then this gives you all of the oh, you can't see that. Okay, hold on. Let me share. Let me change and display the entire screen.
Maybe just drag it, can you drag it?
Okay, right here. Okay, so this is the welcome email. Right here. So I just registered one of my children, and your child is registered for the Congressional Medal. Congratulations, your child is successfully registered. And then all of these resources are important. So this is the introduction to the program, which is a YouTube video. And then current participation page, meaning who's participating in it. The program book that I just showed you, that where you have to write all of these things down. You know, the submittable, how to register for submittable, how that works, and then you have to have a separate submittable account where you start submitting your hours and things. The Congressional Award workbook, the hour log that I showed. Check out our activities page, meaning they have activities that they have listed that are eligible for for our participation. Advisor validated guide and so on and so forth. And then of course you can connect with them online. So here there was something that they showed that I wanted to show you guys. That there are a number of places where you can go and you can ask questions about, hey, is this activity good? Is this activity good? They won't give you specific things about the activity. But you can, anytime you click on scouting, it says, yes, this activity is likely covered. Yes, this activity is likely, whatever it is. So you can get inspiration for different activities. And so I encourage you to explore this entire page and this entire website.
Was it like a chatbot or something? Was it like a chatbot, like AI chatbot, where you ask the
I
questions?
don't think, no, it's not. So I've been attending their, so I think I'm gonna have to function as that chatbot for now. And I've been attending their weekly Zoom meetings where they just kind of keep it over and over the same information over and over again.
So on the volunteering stage, the first item says for 501c3, that means that automatically goes for all the masajid.
Yes, so you can volunteer for a masjid as long as that masjid is doing an activity for the general public, not for just Muslims.
Just like Epic doing for the food
The
distribution.
food pantry.
Food pantry, yeah, that's right. Food pantry would work. Economic medical, it's open to the public, but it's a Muslim organization. Epic Medical, it's open for the public.
Cleaning the street.
Cleaning, street cleanings, upkeep, forestry, upkeep, riverbed cleanup, things like that. So what are things that would work for voluntary public service?
So food drives, donations, clothing drives, volunteering at a hospital, environment cleanup, animal shelters, excellent. Creating hygiene kits, which somebody just did. Somebody was saying that they did a hygiene.
I think you doing distribution also.
And volunteering in a public library, making or securing personal protective equipment like masks, face shields, and so on. Public schools, writing letters to those serving armed forces, just saying hello to them or whatever. Donating blood. Oh, that's interesting. Writing thank you notes to first responders. That's a VPS activity.
Well, right.
Yes.
So for chat GPT thing, what we can do is like we can upload this document in Google Notebook and then you can use it as a chat.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay, so I can do that in my chat GPT. Just tell it to learn all of this
Yeah, Google
information.
Notebook and it's kind of the learn test right and you can ask any question with specific.
And also fill the workbook.
Yeah, maybe if someone else wants to sort of join me as an additional validator, as an additional advisor.
So what is the step for that thing? You need to do some certification for that?
No. It's just learning about the program. So if you look at this, voluntary public service, check if your activity follows the award guidelines, and it has food drives, clothing, volunteering, and all the way down on the bottom, scouting service projects, like mulching, scouting leadership projects, which Brother Sinoj can talk to us a little bit, and scouting Eagle Award projects, and so on. So these are generally allowed, but remember that this activity checker doesn't give you specific information. But for example, if they do have things in here, working at a job. Can my job count? This activity does not follow. You cannot be paid for it. You cannot get any award, no college credit, no compensation, no benefits in any way, except that you can grow as a scout.
Hey, advisor have to do approval or sign within some days or no? Means activity within on the workbook, you have to, or advisor have to sign it within a days or?
No, I think it's when the advisor just has to remember or know that, okay, this kid actually did the activity. But the validator should probably sign off on the activity pretty quickly or pretty soon, so that that's done. And then as the advisor, if I see that the validator signed it, I'll be like, Chalo, take it.
Validator means
The validator is like the sensei at the dojo or something like that, right? So that's the coach.
okay.
And then he or she fills it out, and then that goes to the advisor, and the advisor sees that, okay, the coach or the local supervisor approved that this kid was there and did the activity.
So the validator also has to sign up for this thing?
You don't have to sign up, you don't have to do nothing, you're just.
So just to explain to her that this is what you need, like you said, a coach or or
Yeah,
something.
so then what the kid will do is send an electronic request to the validator, and then the validator will check that off
For
and
his
sign it.
credential.
So the validator doesn't have to be registered with this program.
I don't believe so, and I'm not registered with the
So if a
program.
child goes to a gym, for example, for workout, and their coach can sign off as a validator,
Correct,
that's acceptable?
correct. As long as it's not a parent or relative.
No blood.
No, yeah.
So-
So that's basically the program, and so if you look in personal development, all around the bottom,
Learning to drive.
yeah, playing an instrument, an internship. So this a job actually works over here. Well, does it? It's allowed. So finding a job, reading, writing, and then scout service projects, studying your religion is allowed. So that's personal development. So you can actually study, let's get Brother Tahir to teach everybody Tajweed, the rules of Tajweed, the sakina with that, and then it's allowed. Okay. And then physical fitness, and of course, traveling, and so on. So, and traveling also traveling includes camping. but the kid has to do the planning.
The planning.
And then taking college tours, and religious camps may not, does not follow the guidelines. Okay. So,
If not an option, it's okay.
summer camps, that's why I had everybody sign up as soon as the kid is 13 and a half, because I knew that summer camps would count. So then if your kid is signed up, then that summer camp counts. All right, okay. So that's a brief intro to this. Everybody whose kid is 13.5, sign up, set me as your validator, as your advisor. You'll need my phone number and my home address. Social, shoe size,
Very important.
number of teeth, number of hairs I have on my head, yes. You'll need all that information. And then you sign up, it's $35. After you sign up, every activity after that counts. So we can be working towards scouting and this at the same time.
Any question on his presentation?
Should we message you when we're registering, or are you gonna share that information in the group chat?
Just message me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing it, but message me because then it'll get lost.
Okay. And my son just turned 13 and a half, so.
Yes, we can do it, yeah.
Perfect. So sign up today.
My son will do next month.
Sign up today. Good job.
It depends on the rank, space
Nope.
No, nothing.
No, it has nothing to do with, this is a completely separate program from scouting.
Even without Boy Scout, also do, right?
Yep, you can do it without Boy Scouts.
Girl Scouts will do it.
Yeah, I know.
Most of these things are just non-academic, right? Nothing related to their schoolwork or anything or related to.
Yeah, unless it's extracurricular, voluntary.
I mean,
no
some of
college.
the courses be considered as a personal development.
Which course?
Some courses from the academics.
Not if you're getting credit for the course.
Not like a language courses.
Say again?
Like my kids in middle school doing Spanish as a language.
No, if they're getting school credit for it.
Yeah,
If it was after school and it was extra,
I got it.
yeah, they can. Like you get an Arabic tutor.
Okay.
You get a Quran, you teach them Quran. You get a Quran tutor outside of school. That counts.
So you
As-
pass the scout as a swimming test, that counts as a personal development, right?
Yeah, or physical fitness, whichever one you want to count it for. Yeah.
That will be counted.
If it's for scouting, because they're not getting any other credit anywhere else, the swimming merit badge would count, or the amount of time that they spent on swimming, learning how to swim, that's personal development, that's also, or alternatively, it cannot be both, it could be physical fitness, whichever one.
My son going to half an hour every week for swimming, learning swimming. So we can add that thing.
That counts. Yeah, that's like somebody going, learning, getting a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's extra, that's your, yeah.
For swimming that
Some of these things, they might already.
They are going, yeah. My son become next month.
Have to wait 3-4 months. Okay, I can start with that.
Yeah.
You can add us also.
Okay, so,
24 तो हो गया भाई. पता नहीं. He wants to add himself.
Yeah, I'm still on the 24.
But we're not looking at mental age, we're looking at physical age. I mean, you're all kids in the heart and mind.
In mind, yeah.
yeah, so this is just showing that there were no hours done in January, so January doesn't count towards anything. So you had in February, March, May, and June.
Even 1 hour you work, right?
Even 1 hour. That
one
month would have counted. So you have 26 hours, not over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's not correct. It's 4 months. So 26 hours.
That
over
means
4.
you have to sign, advisor has to sign within a month. That means to show.
It's
the-
better to get the validator to sign
Yeah.
early because the validator will remember. But
Because we all forget.
yeah. So this is a video that you can watch on the Congressional Medal, the Congressional Awards, and or you can search for this. You can search for this, the Congressional Award and Intro to the Congressional Award. You can watch this video, and this is the lady who is assigned, so the United States territory is broken into 4 or 5 different subsections, regions, and this is the advisor for the entire southern region, which includes Texas. So there was another guy, Hernandez or something like that, who got promoted. So I was in touch with him, I don't know this lady, so I have to get in touch with her, but
Nobody knows it, so 270.
anyhow. Okay, all right, so this is what we're going to be starting to work on together, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair for the-
Takbir.